Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colin Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get.
All right, well, welcome, Thrivers, to this edition of Thrive15.com. I'm here with Clay Clark, our U.S. Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year. And Clay, it's such a great day to be alive. We have great things happening here today. I'm very optimistic. We're talking today about public praise and private floggings, 4 super moves for dealing with employee issues. And before we get into it, Clay, let me break it down for all of our Thrivers that are listening. And they begin like this. Super move number 1.
Yeah.
You must be a source of wisdom.
True.
Super move number 2, the power of public praise.
Okay.
Super move number 3, the power of private flogging. And super move number 4, attack the problems, not the people.
Why? Okay.
Super move number 1, here we go. You must be a source of wisdom. Okay, so before we dive into it, I want to begin this super move with a notable quotable from our man Kenneth Blanchard, the best-selling author of The 1 Minute Manager, of excellent book. And he says this: the people who work with you as their manager will look to you as one of their sources of wisdom. Clay, why are we even here? What are we talking about?
Well, the thing is that most people, myself included, you start a business because you have a big idea. You have really kind of 3 reasons you start a business. Typically, it's because you either want to own your own business, you just want to, you have big financial goals and you want to achieve them, or you're just like so tired of working for somebody else, you're like not employable, basically. And so you build this great business and you start to make some money, and you start to make enough money where now you have to hire some people, and pretty soon you realize you've become the kind of person that you wouldn't want to work for. You've become the kind of person where you say, I wouldn't even want to work for me. You start to get into that zone where you're going, but you're not honest with yourself. You don't take the time out to do it, but then someone has to point it out to you. An employee starts to go, hey, just being real, I don't like working here. I don't like you. I don't like whatever. Because what happens is if you aren't intentional about becoming a source of wisdom, you won't be.
Right.
So I can just tell you honestly, in our building, I've read 3 times as many books as anybody else in the building, bar none. There's nobody who will ever keep up with me. And if anybody gets close, I will try to outpace them. And at some point, when I find somebody who's more driven than I am and is more wise than I am, I ask them to be my boss. And that's why we brought on Dr. Zellner as the CEO of Thrive15.com, because I really know my craft and I'm very, very good. But I'll tell you what, Dr. Zellner is like the Donald Trump of small business. I mean, this guy, and I'm not talking about the political ramifications, but he knows what he's talking about, and he is a source of wisdom. And when I don't know what to do, he's my go-to guy. I mean, that's what we brought on Lee Cockrell, because Lee Cockrell knows more about managing an amusement park that sees 52 million people a year than I'll ever know. That's why we brought on Michael Levine. This guy is the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson's family and Bill Clinton's family and Nike. And I mean, so what you want to do is you want to be a source of wisdom. So just ask yourself right now, are you being a source of wisdom for your people? Because if you're not, they're not going to want to stick around very much.
And with that wisdom comes a lot of care. You know, it was John Maxwell who said, it's another notable quotable, who said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
There's wisdom in letting your people know that you care. And it's weird because when someone starts to work at your business, today it just happened in our office, and I feel awful about it. I'm probably going to throw up on the microphone here, but we had a guy in our office who didn't get his paycheck today, and I feel awful about it. You know, it's like, frick, what happened? You know, so I don't know what happened. We're doing end of the year 1099s and mailing out stuff, and there's no excuse for it. But the reality is he didn't get his paycheck. You know, and I hope that everyone knows I care. But if they don't and they're going, well, you don't care at all. So I'm going to try to, tomorrow meet up with him somewhere, bring him out a check because I care. I mean, now you have to show you care. If you don't show you care, you can't expect people to care.
So we're talking about the super move being a source of wisdom, but also, Clay, there's also a line that is drawn between caring and also how close you get to your people. It's John Maxwell also says this, quote, leaders must be close enough to relate to others, but far enough ahead to motivate them. What does that mean?
Well, you don't want to work for a boss who's like, hey, you guys want to go out for beers? And you say, well, I suppose it. Yeah, here's the deal, guys. We're going to get so hammered tonight that I'm going to get so I'm going to get to that. And they're like, you're not going to do it again, are you? No, I am. I'm going to get so hammered that I can't feel my face again. I'm going to get so hammered. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shove each other into the bushes and we're going to get naked. And you're going, I don't know if I want to, because it's like a boss where he's like actually below you. Or he's regressing below you. And I see a lot of bosses who aren't comfortable with being alone at the top of the mountain. And so they start to regress, and they almost want to be like chummy with all their people. So they start to go, yeah, so why don't you all come over tonight, and I'll go out with you? And you're like, boss, you're definitely married, and you definitely don't normally have a Bostonian accent. Well, whatever. But the point is, let's go out tonight and you're going, boss, you're married. I mean, seriously, you don't need to go out with a bunch of single guys. No, I'm going to, and I've joined up for the bowling league so I can be with you guys. You don't want to be that kind of boss. It's just not going to go over well. And no disrespect for people from Boston. I have my Boston accoutrements here. I have my Red Sox tie. I have my Patriots tie. I just want you. I love Boston, but I do love the Bostonian voice.
Super move number 2.
Okay.
The power of public praise. All right, let me tee it up for you here. From our 1 Minute Manager author, Kenneth Blanchard, he says this: the best minute I spend is the one that I invest in people. Clay?
Well, what you want to do is you want to praise people publicly. So we have a guy on our team right now named Devin. And Devin does nothing but his job right all the time. He's not perfect, but he sincerely cares. He's passionate. He's diligent. He's honest. So what you want to do is you want to get up to Mount Awesome in your meeting. You want to get to Mount Awesome. You want to get up on that chair, get up on that platform, get up on that stage, whatever you have, and say, henceforth, dearly beloved, henceforth, we are gathered here today to talk about Devin. Who is Devin? Well, Devin is a beautiful man, and he has done a job well done. Devin, I will give you a verbal bouquet and my blessing, and that blessing will... the power invested me, you're a big deal. Devin, here's your trophy. Devin. Because people want to be praised. And when they see that you praise somebody who works hard, it makes them want to work hard. But if you're like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, let's all get hammered and drunk together. Let's go into the bushes and we'll be intoxicated together.
How specific do you get in your praises when you praise people in public? And also, what's the value of that to do it in public, with your business? I praise people a lot in public, and I try to really praise with the specific things they did. Don't praise people's physical attributes where you're like, Amanda, you is a beautiful girl, and I'm excited about your beauty because you is hot. You's hot. I mean, that's not what you want to do. It makes people uncomfortable. I honestly, I've seen bosses get in front of their team. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen this where the boss gets up there and he's like, all right, everybody, I want to thank Dave for being here. Dave, I know it's been a struggle for you this year trying to lose weight, and you haven't got there yet. Dave, you're handsome. And that's like their praise, and it was kind of a backhanded, weird compliment. Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want that. So be intentional about the verbal bouquets and the praise you're sharing for people.
Going with that is here's another notable quote by John Maxwell in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Yeah.
He says, quote, I believe that the greatest things happen only when you give others the credit. What does that mean when you give the other people the credit? Does that mean that you don't take credit for what you do? What does that mean? What's up with that?
Well, here's the deal. In business... everything bad that happens is always my fault. And everything good that happens is somebody else's credit. And that's how you lead.
Why?
Because humans, I don't understand. I don't understand how my phone works. Like, I have a phone. I don't get how my phone works. I don't get how the Earth's gravitational pull. I mean, I understand in theory that the Earth is, rotating around the sun, and therefore there's a gravitational pull, and there's polarity, and there's a Earth's core, and I get it. But what I'm saying is I don't quite understand why there's gravity, and I don't quite understand why this works, but I can just tell you, if there's a customer complaint, and you're like, yeah, because all my employees are idiots. And then when you get your award, like, I just want to get up there today and I want to say thank you to myself for being awesome. And if it wasn't for these idiots, I would have achieved this honor earlier. And boom. You're not going to go very far. So you want to praise your team. And then anytime there's a problem, you want to take ownership of it because it's your fault.
The 4 super moves for dealing with employee issues. And we've talked about super move number 1, you must be a source of wisdom. The second one, the power of public praise.
Yeah.
Now we're dealing with super move number 3, the power of private floggings. Here's another notable quotable by Kenneth Blanchard. Again, great book, The 1 Minute Manager. He says this: if you can't tell me what you'd like to be happening, you don't have a problem yet. You're just complaining. A problem only exists if there's a difference between what is actually happening and what you desire to be happening. Clay, break it down for us.
Well, I just did a big workshop, and so I'll be vague in the details. I'll be misleading in the details. What I'll do is I'll be kind of vague so you can get it. But I'm at this workshop, and I'm leading it, and this man or woman who was leading the meeting, who might or might not own a company and who might or might not be in charge, they said, literally, guys, I got to tell you what, the way that we're doing things here has to change, because things have to change. Things can't be the same if you want them to change. I mean, this country has to change if you want to see it change. People have to change. If people want to see something different, and if everyone's kind of going, I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea. He's like, and he keeps going. Now, change for some people, change. I mean, if you want to change, I mean, I tell you this, I'm so frustrated that I literally might just shut down this business this week. And everyone's going, are we going to lose our job? Are we? I mean, people are literally going, right. Are we losing our jobs or what? And he's just going. So I want to see some change around here. And he's so mad he can't or she can't articulate what they're talking about. And then I'm the keynote speaker guy, and my job as the workshop guy is to kind of go, well, and so I came in and I'm like, no, guys, I think luckily I knew enough of the background. I could come in and go, what we were talking about, what he's talking about specifically is that we need to make these specific changes. People go, oh, okay. But people had no idea what they're talking about. So you don't want to just run around complaining. So what you want to do is you want to suggest specific changes, okay? It's very specific, or otherwise you're just talking about nothing. But also, when you do have to flog somebody,
yeah,
you do have to tell someone, hey, you're out of line, hey, you're messed up, hey, you screwed up. Have some grace there and pull them aside privately and just go, hey, can we talk real quick? Yeah. Hey, you did this weird, you did that weird. So in my office, we had a guy about a couple years ago, and I remember he was trying so hard in meetings to have the right mindset. Mm-hmm. Trying so hard. Kind of, tough guy. And he just kept glaring at customers when he'd get mad at them. Because they would say things, we do business consulting.
What kind of glare was he given?
Well, there's a lot of customers that were hired to coach their companies. And the customer just kept saying something wrong over and over. They were saying the word wrong, just pronouncing it wrong. And so he looks at them like, and then not only does he do it, but he corrects them publicly in front of all their teammates. You don't say it this way. And the word was canonical. It has to do with web optimization, but there's canonical rules.
Yeah.
It's like the canon, it's the rules, it's the canonical rules. And he basically just, hey, you don't say it canonical, it's canonical. Well, one, he corrected someone in front of a lot of people. That's not good.
No.
Two, I had to jump onto the bus as a leader and go, hey, guys, I am so sorry. I've probably been saying it wrong, and that's why he thought that.
Wow.
But I had to jump onto the bus to make it less awkward, but then I had to pull him aside privately. I had to use all these moves and pull him aside privately and go, hey, you don't ever want to correct a customer in front of them. Other people don't do that. It's not good. No. You know what I mean? So I had to teach him that it's private flogging.
I'm so glad that you said that about talking in private, because this super move number 3 flows with our final super move here, super move number 4, which is this. It says this: attack the problems, not the people. Attack the problem, not the people. John Maxwell, in his book as well, in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, let me set it up for you here in his notable quotable. He said in the law of reproduction, he says this: the law of reproduction is how great leaders become great. He says this, that natural gifting is 10%, result of the crisis is only 5%, influence of another leader is 85%.
So what allows you to reproduce as a leader? What he's talking about here is that 10% of it's just natural gifting. You know, you're able to reproduce other leaders because you're just naturally gifted at doing so. 10% is like there was a crisis, and so somebody in your team had to take over a key position just due to a crisis. They're all of a sudden they're in sales. The sales manager quits. Now all of a sudden they're in charge of sales. But the biggest thing, 85% of that, is that they had a leader who nurtured them. There's a leader who encouraged them. There's a leader who influenced them. And so what I want to do so we can really marinate on this is I'm gonna kind of read this in Yoda talk here. So here we go.
Here we go.
Natural gifting, 10%. Results of crisis, 5%. Influence of another, 85%.
You know, the whole thing is, the whole thing is like that's big stuff here. You know, influence of another leader, 85%.
That's huge. That's huge.
But just make sure you're getting into your inner Yoda and marinate on that, because you have to build people. You can't go out there. I see so many business owners. It makes me nuts. I see so many business owners that say, I can't,
Cannot find good people. People we cannot find. No, we cannot.
That's, and you're going, stop talking like Yoda, one,
right.
But two, you have to build people. You can't go out there. You don't have the budget big enough to build big, to buy big people.
In my experience, Clay, in ministry, in churches, in leadership, direct sales, one of the greatest principles that I ever learned was when I had to address or flog somebody in private, I always set them up by saying this: hey, I want to separate you from the issue.
Yeah.
You, I appreciate, I love you, whatever you want to say. But now we're going to address this. So I would always make a word picture and say, you verbally separate it and you say, hey, I'm separating you from the issue.
Yep.
We're going to talk about this right now. And some people call it the sandwich principle.
Oh.
You uplift, then you put like the mustard in the middle. That's the flogging area. And then you put the bread again. So you're lifting. So you begin with positive, then put the mustard or the yucky stuff, and then you lift them up again.
To further affirm what you just said, Jack Welch, one of the top CEOs of all time, he talks about kick and hug. You kick and you hug. You have to do the sandwich kind of.
Yeah.
So that's really, really important. But I want to make sure that that nobody here is trying to overthink this. I want to read this notable quotable also from Jack Welch. He says, managers will play every game in the book to avoid identifying the bottom 10%. Sometimes they sneak in people who are planning to retire that year, or others who already have been told to leave the organization. What he's talking about is if you're not aggressive about attacking the problems, what will happen is that eventually you have to fire somebody. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about these companies. Jack Welch has a system called differentiation, where you make a list of your employees. You make a list of the bottom 10%. You make a list of that middle 80%. And then you have your top 20%. And you want to let them know where they stand. What he's talking about is that a lot of companies don't do this. They don't differentiate. They don't tell people where they stand. And then eventually they have to find a way to fire the person. So they start to say, Greg, you want to retire early, retire, it's time to retire. And they're looking for health issues. They're looking for reasons to lay people off. They're looking for some excuse because they don't want to tell you that the reason why that they're being fired is because of lack of performance. So what you want to do is you want to attack the problems, not the people, and then people can handle it. They can do. A lot of people, I'd say 75% of people can be corrected if you will attack the problem and not the people.
In the right way, yeah. Jack Welch also said in this notable quotable, failure to deliver on commitments is, in the end, unacceptable. Can you unpack this for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a deal where as a leader, leadership is so different than followership. As a follower, we go,
the boss, if I was boss, I tell you what, if I was boss, what I would do is I would be less bossy.
I'd do that. I'd be less bossy, and then I'd probably share the wealth more. I'd probably get in there and share my wealth, and I'd probably let people lead because people want to lead themselves, And I find that, I'm not going to push my leadership on other people. And I'll tell you what, if I was a boss, I'd probably, let everybody have steaks all the time, and I'd probably, I wouldn't even like manage their hours because I'd just be like, boom, and people would want to work for me because I'm the kind of guy you'd want to go on a boat with and then be stuck on that boat in the lake for months. And you're going, what are you talking about? It's easy to like be that guy who's judgmental of every boss.
Yeah.
But when you are the boss, if you fail to deliver on a commitment, as I mentioned to you today, we had a guy on our team, he didn't get a paycheck today. My fault. It's not acceptable, not cool. I don't know what's going on. So, you know what I'm going to do? Tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to get it taken care of. You know what I mean? Easy, though, is somebody on the team to go, well, see, if I was boss, that wouldn't happen because when I'm boss, I would be less bossy and I would be more paymenty. I'd pay people and I'd boss the rest less.
Because, ultimately, people are the ones that are making your industry and your business grow and make it efficient and effective. And here's another notable quotable that goes with what we've been sharing.
Oh, yeah.
By Jack Welch himself. Again, he says this, that every company must deal decisively with people who don't perform satisfactorily. Great people, not great strategies, are what made it all work at General Electric, GE.
Yeah, so what you do is you attack the problem, not the people. But if the problem cannot get off the people, like if it's, you ever had a deal where you missed a shower?
Yeah.
Or you're out camping maybe, and you're like, is that what's that smell?
Is that me?
And you're like, what's that smell? That smell. Well, that smell is me. And now that smell follows you around all day.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got somebody on your team that just has that funk, that nasty, that gross stuff, and you start to go, I can't separate the problem from this person. It's like the funk is always following them.
Yes.
The two are synonymous. It's like a cloud of negativity and sarcasm and screw-upness and jackassery and mistakes and just stupidness, of negligence, of whatever. Then eventually you have to go ahead and part ways and replace that person with somebody else. And you remove it the way you'd remove a cancerous growth because it is cancerous. It does spread. So you want to go ahead and...
That's a great action step right there.
Yeah, just remove the cancerous growth. Just get it out of there.
It is. And as we're talking about in our session today, this episode on public praise and private flogging, these 4 super moves, I want to review, go and recap each and every one of these before we let everybody go here.
Yeah.
And super move number 1, you must be a source of wisdom. What's the lesson nugget here, Clay? What's the takeaway?
Well, the lesson nugget here is the major requirement of being a manager and being a leader or a person of authority over others is that you must earn the respect. You must earn the respect of the people as a result of the mastery of your own craft, the details and ongoing learning. No one's going to respect you if you're not in master of the detail and the craft and you don't show a commitment to ongoing learning. If I walked into this building and I'm like, henceforth, I will not ever read a new book, and I will show up late, and I will dress like an idiot. It wouldn't be long until you would lose the respect of everybody. So you've got to earn that respect every day as a leader.
That's it. Our super move number 2, as we go into review here, the power of public praise. The lesson nugget here is you must praise your people 3 times for every one time that you correct them.
That's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, you're praising them 3 times for every one time that you correct them, or they will not be able to handle your critical feedback without experiencing an emotional breakdown.
Praise people 3 times for every one correction. Praise them 3 times for every one correction. If you don't do it, not good.
There we go. Super move number 3 here. The power of private floggings, the lesson nugget. We all need candid feedback and coaching to become the best we can. No one needs humiliation.
Yeah, and that's hard. I'll tell you this. I'll give you an example of bosses behaving badly. We had one guy years ago who I knew was not trying hard.
Yeah, what did you do?
Well, what I did, you shouldn't do this, is I hadn't given him almost no praise, and he just, he either lost motivation or wasn't trying, whatever. And I, in front of everyone, was like, what the is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, seriously, like, what is wrong with you? Are you an idiot? What's wrong? I can't even be around you. You just make me crazy. Well, one is I shouldn't have said that in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
2, I definitely should have praised him a lot before I'd ever been critical. 3, I should have actually had a specific thing he could have done better. 4, every one of these leadership moves, I was not being a source of wisdom. I was not demonstrating the power of public praise.
Mm-hmm.
I was not privately flogging the guy. I was not attacking the problems. I did everything wrong.
You were attacking the person, which is super move number 4, which is attack the problems, not the people. And the lesson nugget here, the takeaway, is separate the problem from the person and then attack the problem with great enthusiasm.
Yeah, and a bonus little super move here is don't go out there and attempt to put a perm on a frog. Now let me walk you through what I mean by this. I tell people this all the time. But don't try as a leader to go out there and make somebody a leader who's not a leader.
Right.
Even though it's an insane example, you'll probably never forget. But you don't want to put a perm on a frog. If you put a perm on a frog, one, there wouldn't be enough hair to make it work. But you also the frog
Impossible.
would still be a frog and it'd be gross. So don't sit there and have a leader who has no. Don't find somebody with no. They're not ready for leadership yet.
There you go.
And don't force it on them. And then go, well, let's put a perm on them, and then we'll get them in the, with the boss's seat. I mean, you used to see that in the time of kings. They would take boys who were kings. Their father would pass away, and the king was 16 years old, 15 years old, 17 years old, and all of a sudden they put him in charge of a whole kingdom.
Yeah.
Because of just the lineage, and you'd see it crumble. So you want to make sure that you don't put people in a position of leadership until they've shown they can be diligent and good stewards of the little things you give them.
There you go. There you go. And for all of you that are watching, if you want to get any downloads, they're free.
Yeah.
They can just email us at info@thrive15.com.
All the downloadables, the
There we go.
transcripts for the episodes are there. And we always have an Ask the Mentor button, so you can click that if you have any questions. And
That's
the final,
powerful.
Well, the final thing I want to tell you is that if you go ahead and click, if you email info@thrive15.com, you can attend our workshops. They're always free. Just book a time. Come
Free?
on out. Free. For free? That's included with your membership?
Gratis.
Yes, and you get training from specific Thrive mentors. You come here to Tulsa, we'll take care of everything for you. It's awesome. You just got to get your hotel and airfare, but we literally do workshops, one-on-one, working with you or in group settings. Awesome stuff. Underutilized resource, but the people who do it love it. So boom.
Awesome. Well, Clay, thanks again. This has been an incredible topic to talk about. Thank you all for watching here today. We'll see you next time at thrive15.com.
Bang.
Boom.
JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old, but I've never had the two-time Heisman Award-winning Tim Tebow come present. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Also, this is the first Thrive Time Show event that we've had where we're going to have a man who has built a $100 million net worth.
Wow.
Who'll be presenting. Now, we've had a couple presenters that have had $1 billion net worth in some like real estate sort of things.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've had a guy who's built a service business, and he's built over $100 million net worth in the service business. It's the yacht driving, multi-state living guru of franchising. Peter Taunton will be in the house. This is the founder of Snap Fitness, the guy behind 9 Round Boxing. He's going to be here in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. JT, why should everybody want to hear what Peter Taunton has to say?
Oh, because he's incredible. He's just a fountain of knowledge. He is awesome. He has inspired me listening to him talk. And not only that, he also has, he practices what he teaches. So he's a real teacher. He's not a fake teacher like business school teachers. So you got to come learn from him.
Also, let me tell you this, folks. I don't want to get this wrong because if I get it wrong, someone's going to say, you screwed that up, buddy. So Michael Levine, this is Michael Levine. He's going to be coming. You say, who's Michael Levine? I don't want to get this wrong. This is the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson, for Prince, for Nike, for Charlton Heston, for Nancy Kerrigan, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times best-selling authors he's represented, including pretty much everybody you know who's been a super celebrity. This is Michael Levine, a good friend of mine. He's going to come and talk to you about personal branding and the mindset needed to be super successful. The lineup will continue to grow. We have hit Christian recording artist Colton Dixon in the house. Now, people say, Colton Dixon's in the house? Yes, Colton Dixon's in the house. So if you like top 40 Christian music, Colton Dixon's going to be in the house performing. The lineup will continue to grow. grow each and every day. We're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup, but I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, when's it going to be? June 27th and 28th. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And so it says Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrive Time Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. So when? June 27th and 28th. Who? You're going to come. Who? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
James, did I tell you my good friend John Lee Dumas is also joining us at the in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshop? That Tim Tebow and that Michael Levine will be at. Have I told you this?
You have not told me that.
Oh, he's coming all the way from Puerto Rico. This is John Lee Dumas, the host of the chart-topping EOFire.com podcast. He's absolutely a living legend. This guy started a podcast after wrapping up his service in the United States military, and he started recording this podcast daily in his home, to the point where he started interviewing big-time folks like Gary Vaynerchuk, like Tony Robbins, and he just kept interviewing bigger and bigger names, putting out shows day after day, and now he is the legendary host of the EO Fire podcast, and he's traveling all the way from Puerto Rico to Tulsa, Oklahoma to attend the in-person June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshop. If you're out there today, folks, you've ever wanted to grow a podcast, a broadcast, you want to improve your marketing, if you've ever wanted to improve your marketing, your branding, if you've ever wanted to increase your sales, you want to come to the 2-day interactive June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show Business Workshop featuring Tim Tebow, Michael Levine, John Lee Dumas, and countless big-time super successful entrepreneurs. It's going to be life-changing. Get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. James, what website is that?
thrivetimeshow.com.
James, one more time with more enthusiasm.
thrivetimeshow.com.
Shine, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with, because it could get dangerous. See these people I ride with. This moment, we own it.
Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops, because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems, so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done his show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a
All
guy
right.
by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed, to the business owner, to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you, thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you, thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa! Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business, and I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I am not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us in getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
Once I saw what they were doing, I knew I had to get here at the conference. This is probably the best conference or seminar I've ever been to in over 30 years in business.
You're not bored. You're awake, alive the whole time. It's not pushy. They don't try to sell you a bunch of things.
I was looking to learn how to just get control of my life, my schedule, and just get control of the business.
Planning your time, breaking it all down, making time for the F6 in your life, and just really implementing it and sticking with the program.
It's really lively. They're pretty friendly, helpful, very welcoming.
I attended a conference a couple months back, and it was really the best business conference I've ever attended.
At the workshop, I learned a lot about time management, really prioritizing what's the most important.
Biggest takeaways are, you want to take a step-by-step approach to your business. Whether it's marketing, what are those 3 marketing tools that you want to use, to human resources.
Now, some of the most successful people and successful businesses in this town, their owners were here today because they wanted to know more from Clay, and I found that to be kind of fascinating.
The most valuable thing that I've learned is diligence. That businesses don't change overnight. It takes time and effort, and you got to go through the ups and downs of getting it to where you want to go.
He actually gives you the roadmap out. I was stuck, didn't know what to do, and he gave me the roadmap out step by step.
We've set up systems in the business that make my life much easier, allow me some time freedom.
Here you can ask any question you want. They guarantee it'll be answered.
This conference motivates me and also give me a lot of knowledge and tools.
It's up to you to do it. Everybody can do these things. There's stuff that everybody knows, but if you don't do it, nobody else can do it for you.
I can see the marketing working. And it's just an approach that makes sense.
Probably the most notable thing is just the income increase that we've had.
Everyone's super fun, it's super motivating. I've been here before, but I'm back again because it motivates me.
Your competition's going to come eventually, or try to pick up these tactics. So you better, if you don't, somebody else will.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing. And this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
If you decide to not attend the Thrive Time workshop, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
The atmosphere of Clay's office is very lively. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk through the door, and it really got me and my team very excited.
If you decide not to come, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow your business. Bottom line.
Love the environment. I love the way that Clay presents and teaches. It's a way that not only allows me to comprehend what's going on, but he explains it in a way to where it just makes sense.
The SEO optimization, branding, marketing. I've learned more in the last 2 days than I have the entire 4 years of college.
The most valuable thing that I've learned, marketing is key. Marketing is everything.
Making sure that you're branded accurately and clearly. How to grow a business using Google reviews, and then just how to optimize our name through our website also.
Helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google.
The biggest thing I needed to learn was how to build my foundation, how to systemize everything and optimize everything, build my SEO.
How to become more organized, more efficient.
How to make sure the business is really there to serve me as opposed to me constantly being there for the business.
New ways of advertising my business as well as recruiting new employees.
Group interviews, number one. Before we felt like we were held hostage by our employees. Group interviews has completely eliminated that because you're able to really find the people that would really be the best fit.
Hands-on how to hire people, how to deal with human resources, a lot about marketing, and overall just how to structure the business, how it works for me, and also then how that can translate into working better for my clients.
The most valuable thing I've learned here is time management.
I like the 1 hour of doing your business is real critical if I'm going to grow and change.
Clay really teaches you how to navigate through those things and not only find freedom, but find your purpose in your business and find the purposes for all those other people that directly affect your business as well.
Everybody.
Everyone
needs to attend the conference because you get an opportunity to see that it's real.